Wellness Warrior Salute family. We are live and direct. We have an amazing event coming up. I'm one of the wellness practitioners that is saluting you all with an amazing event called Elevation Boot Camp for Holistic Entrepreneurs. It's hosted by Brother Oraje Neferum. Oraje Neferum. He is here on Instagram. I'm having the auspicious honor to be one of several healers, along with Red Pill and Blue Pill, Sister Rain, Sister Karma Soul, Brother Billionaire PA, and also our sister Chef Aki. And we're going to be in Puerto Rico for this elevation event. And it's December 12th to the 13th, San Juan, Puerto Rico, December 12th to the 13th. San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's a holistic wellness warriors event. All of the wellness practitioners are welcome to attend. And you can find this information more on Eventbrite. If you go to Eventbrite and you type in E1EVAT1ON/bootcamp for holistic healers, entrepreneurs tickets. Okay, so we're going to be having a wonderful weekend of wellness. You'll learn all the tools you need to be a strong holistic wellness healer and start how to grow a holistic wellness based business for those that are really trying to be wellness practitioners and entrepreneurs. There's a rainforest tour that will be going on. There's a sacred ceremony, wellness ceremony for the ancestors. There will be yoga seminars, energy healing and sound bath seminars, workshops like detoxing your life from financial stagnation for those that are really trying to work on the abundance protocol. I will be facilitating my segment, which is called the Accountability Protocol for Self-Mastery. A lot of wellness practitioners and healers get into service of healing others and helping others and forgetting to do daily maintenance for themselves, so they can be strong to continuously use their skill set to help to pour into others. It's very important that the healers heal the healers. And it's very important that the healers do not forget daily protocols to pour into yourself so that you can be of service to others. We have other workshops, the 1111 Manifestation Protocol, Purging Past Patterns, Striving and Surviving in Your Passion Economy Post-COVID, Indigenous Industries, and many more. So if you are really interested in this wellness weekend, we definitely want to invite you to check us out on Eventbrite. I'm waiting for Brother Red Pill to join me so I can bring him on and we can just catch a bill. He's along with his brother, one of the wellness practitioners that is part of this amazing elevation event in Puerto Rico. And he can tell you more about what you should be expecting and how you can supporting us. I'm bringing Red Pill on shortly. So just want to greet you all with a Wellness Warrior salute. Wellness Warrior salute, beloved.
Wellness salute, wellness salute.
Yes, I was just giving them we're going to go jump right into it, beloved. I just want you to pour into the family, let them know what they'll be expecting. I already gave them the expectation. Let's catch a bill on elevation, talk about Puerto Rico, talk about why is it important for us healers at this time to fellowship and to Voltron together and really, get our Avenger on and pour into ourselves so we can continue to service humanity, So you got it, brother.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, one of the reasons why fellowship is so important is because we are in a highly competitive market. We are in a highly, quote unquote, everybody doesn't know that the practitioners know each other. People are not aware of that. And because we belong to this community where competitiveness is one of the hallmarks of it, it's very important that those of us who are part of a network come together and form like Voltron. Teamwork makes the dream work. And to be and what we're aiming at is the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the people. You know, the bigger picture is bigger than us, meaning that we all are going to come together to love on our people, to love on these new businesses. I wish I had something like this when I started out my clothing business, so I could have different entrepreneurs who I was looking up to come together and bring me to an island and give me some of the keys and give me some of the quote unquote steps and give me some of the, you know, the tenets that I need to get my thing together, or whatever business I'm starting, whether it's a product or a service. So that's one of the main things that I see. I'm also seeing that, you know, we need to take a break. You know, 2020 was a very energy intensive year. A lot of people don't even realize how much they've absorbed. So to be able to go in the middle of the winter to a tropical island, onto an energy grid, onto a ley line, and be able to charge up in the sun, you know, and be able to eat right, because Chef Aki is going to be in the building, and you know,
Electrical foods.
yeah, SupaNova
Yeah.
Slom is in the building, Blue Pill is in the building. So you already know, Karma Soul, she's there. So you already know that the food is going to be of a high level, highly alkalized, and you know, it's just going to be, you know, all kind of nutritious. Shaka Bar say, if you go live, I'll come. I mean, what is that? Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
We'll definitely go live.
Well, Wellness Warrior salute to Brother Shaka Bars. Yes.
Wellness Warrior salute to Brother Shaka Bars. You know what I'm saying? You are definitely welcomed and invited. That would be an honor for everybody involved to have the God. Like SupaNova said, we're forming Voltron. It's leading up to the December 21st conjunction.
Come on.
We're not playing with this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm even thinking about staying and going to my ancestral land of the Virgin Islands right after we charge up in Puerto Rico, which is a boat ride away, going either to St. Thomas or St. Croix or St. John's, and really being on that island when we have this alignment. You know, yeah, because to each his own. Everybody is going to do what they have to do to be tapped into the most optimal power available.
Come on,
when we do,
let's
because this is the upgrade. And my advice,
say that last line one more time, beloved. Repeat that last line about optimum power.
Yes, it's time to tap in to our optimal power, and I would recommend the brothers and sisters to go to their DNA ancestral land, wherever it may be, wherever the matriarchal bloodline is from. During this conjunction, it would be wise to be on that land, whether it's the South, whether it's on the islands, wherever it may be. I would want to be there.
Yeah. And Goddess _within _CEO, is this a group event? Yes. I pinned the Eventbrite information. You can copy and paste the Eventbrite information. Can you just reiterate, Red, again about the event? Who's going to be there? Why this is important for Sister Goddess tuning in, and for those tuning in?
Okay, definitely. For anybody that's tuning in, this is an open event. We're welcoming. The tickets are going out fast, though. We were almost sold out, but we're welcoming everybody who is a part of this network. You could be from Africa. You could be from the UK. You could be from the islands. You could be from South America. You could even be, well, I don't know. You could be part of the galactical family.
Ashe.
We are going to greet you, and we are going to be on the island of Puerto Rico, San Juan, for the weekend of December the 12th to the 13th. It will be Red Pillar and Blue Pillar. It will also be Billionaire PA, who is a paradigm shifter. It will be Chef Aki. It will be, I mean, she needs no introduction, Karma Soul, who is part of Queen of Four's Sacred Sisters. She is a business owner, an entrepreneur. Everybody that I'm speaking about is an entrepreneur who has their own brands, and they either have a product or service, and they serve a global community.
Okay.
We will have the God himself, SupaNova Slom, in the building, the medicine man, doing what he does best. You know, and this is rare. I don't always see SupaNova on a trip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's the fact.
So,
That's the fact.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the event will be host, and also our sister
Rain.
Rain
Yeah.
Global, beautiful sister, entrepreneur, a world traveler. I
Yeah.
remember watching her. She was doing lives in Bali
Mm.
last year.
Seen that
I
powerful.
felt,
Powerful.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
will be hosted by the host of the event. Brother goes by the name of Oraje Neferum.
Yes.
I was privy to being at the first elevation in Brooklyn, New York in the calendar year of 2018.
Can you talk about
And
that experience of the first elevation so they can kind of get
oh
a,
man, yeah,
what that
yeah,
was like for you?
definitely. That first event in Brooklyn was one of the it was one of the most beautiful events that I've been to forever. The fact that it was a perfect balance of divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy. At that first event, we had Umi, Queen of Four. She was in the building. We had Chrisette Michelle.
Mm.
She was also in the building, you know, doing her goddess work, her healing. We had a sister by the name of Jasmine, Rain Global. She was in the building. Um, who else was there? There were a few other. Brother Oraje was the host. I met so many beautiful people that day, King. You know, we were doing. We had there's a video that went viral. We had a panel,
Mm.
and in that panel, we were talking about the pros and the cons of having a holistic business. We were talking about the pros and the cons of finding your being equally yoked and finding your mate, right? Affairs of the heart, something that is very important and something that doesn't really get talked about too much in this community, that people are quietly suffering because they're not equally yoked. They're in relationships
Woo.
where they're not balanced. They're in imbalance. They're lonely. There's brothers and whatnot that are out here busting their butt, working 3 jobs, and they're on the internet and they're asking me, "Yo, Red, how can I find my queen? How can I find my goddess?
Wow.
I want to be in a relationship where a woman appreciates me for being what these other people call weird." I'm
Mm.
like, "You're not weird." I said that you're not. Don't ever use that word because words have power. What you are is you are considered to be a visionary. You know, you're a futurist. You you know, many geniuses were called insane before they were verified. You know, you're just a futurist. You're ahead of your time. So people hate what they don't understand and they're not comfortable with it because you challenge their comfort zone. So I tell the brothers, be patient and breathe, brother. Go to the gym, right? And utilize the friction of the gym. Utilize
The
utilize
resistance.
resistance.
Come on, brother.
In that point where you're in your most pain,
Mm.
that's when you should envision and embody. That's when you should begin to manifest your queen, right in
Yes.
those
Come on,
moments.
brother. Talk about it.
You should see it in your third eye.
Yes.
The reason why you're pushing that weight and you're going through that pain is because you're doing it for somebody. It shouldn't just be you.
Well, you know, Ray, let me talk about that real quick. I want to encourage that demographic of brothers that are signaling the mateship. I want to encourage you brothers to first and foremost establish your personal value. Build on your value, okay? Because as you build on your value, you are the first one that is necessary to build on that and to signal that strength. And the more you can pour into you, you'll be able to attract a compliment to your value.
To
So
your value.
if you're over wasting your time, which is precious, and your resources externally signaling without necessarily pouring back into yourself, you know, I remember Red last live mentioned brothers, it's important to, you know, to do your massages, do your rejuvenation protocols. All of that's about building your value, working out, building the resistance. If you do that and pour into yourself, you'll be able to strengthen your signal at a higher level to attract your sacred complement and not a lower frequency mate. So I just wanted to kind of pour into, encourage the brothers to continue to build on the value. Yes.
Right. I mean, coming up very soon, King, I want to do a panel. I want to do a panel with polygamy and polygyny. I want to do a panel with the kings and the queens. I want to do something dealing with the affairs of the heart. I want to
Yes, very
do,
important. Yeah.
I want to, yes, I want to take this and move around with it, because I want to be, you know, when people be like, yo, Red, you helped change my life. Yo, Supernova, you helped change. I get stopped at airports, bus stations, Amtraks. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You remember Carlito's Way at the end when
Yeah,
Benny
Carlito.
Blanco stopped him at Amtrak?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, niggas be stopping me at Amtrak when I'm about to get on the train. Like, yo, Red, I gotta turn around and reach for the blick. I don't know if it's good. But
yeah, exactly.
if somebody were to say, Red, you helped me meet my wife. We built a family based off of an event that you put together.
Come on.
Like, that to me is the highest form of commendation. And what's the name of the new spot in Atlanta?
Oasis Bar.
There's a new spa, melanated, owned.
Nice.
We talking
melanated
about
melanated owned.
Yeah, melanated owned. So this is about being able to be pampered as both men and women.
That's right.
But to support our own in our own sacred spaces. Because we were giving a lot of energy to the Koreans and whatnot at J. Jude's.
Right.
And even in New Jersey where you're at.
Oh yeah.
I was going
King
to
Spa.
the
King Spa.
King Spa.
Yeah,
King Spa. But they have the pyramids, they have the Kemetic pyramids.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I'm in the Korean spas, and they're set up, and I'm doing the research about where do you mostly find amethyst and quartz and whatnot, and it's not in Korea, and it's not in Europe. Yeah, it's in Brazil, and it's another place. So what we are encouraging our brothers to do, and our sisters as well, with the holistic entrepreneur retreat, especially the brothers that are looking for their Aelites, is to get into a business that is going to be beneficial to you and your mate. You know, utilize your resources and utilize your hustle and your drive to begin to build up holistic businesses. You know, not corporate America all of the time and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like how Mama Pill and Sabi were able to do.
Come on. Yeah.
How Queen of Four was able to do. How these entities were able to create legacies that you can pass down, but not just pass down. While the legacy is being molded and written, you are healing people, you are curing people, you are helping people transform into the better versions of themselves. Your spiritual bank account runneth over when you do things like that.
Hey,
this
Ray,
is about
real quick, beloved, I want to catch your wisdom. Goddess
yes.
Goddess _ within _ CEO said the link is not working. Sister, I think you should, again, if you type it in the way it's pinned, if you can't copy paste it from our live, you type it in the way it's pinned, you will get to the link, because I'm seeing the link right now. Everything's working fine. You want to give her any other encouragement, Red? She's trying to I guess purchase the ticket.
Well, I was telling people go to elevation.eventbrite, and the elevation is spelled with the E, the number 1, EVAT number 1 ION .eventbrite, and that could take you there as well. You know, it's basically going to Eventbrite and putting in the search bar elevation, and I believe that will take you directly to the event.
Okay, perfect.
If there's anybody that's having real issues getting there, our DMs are open to the family. You could inbox us, and we will guide you there. We will send you the link. But don't just go there as the first option. That's plan B. You know what I mean? Plan A is to go online and go to Eventbrite. There you go, elevation. The way that it's spelled, SupaNova just put it in the chat and whatnot. You know, so to add back to the context of what I was saying, like, it is very important to do what? To get these businesses and these entities and these services and these products in alignment. So you're going to come amongst, when you come to Puerto Rico, you're going to meet business owners, brothers and sisters who have products, have services, have experience
Yeah.
and insight, you know, and we all learn from each other. You know what I'm talking about? There's
Yeah.
no big U's. Everybody is leaving their egos at the airport, and we're coming amongst each other.
Right.
That has to be said.
Yes.
We're coming amongst each other as family.
That's right. Yeah, it's an
like
intertribal powwow. Intertribal powwow.
Intertribal powwow.
Yeah.
And and to be honest with you, that energy in it of itself is therapeutic. One. Yeah. We're gonna go into the jungle, into the rainforest, the second day, and we're gonna be dealing with elevation on a whole nother principle. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing.
Come on, brother.
And you get to see people who you see on the internet all of the time in real life. You know,
it's a powerful.
They say something about don't meet your. There's a saying that says don't meet your heroes. Well, I'm here to let you know I don't know about that.
Well, I know about heroes, but you can meet your heroes.
Meet your, that's, yeah.
Meet your heroes.
I would say, yeah, don't meet your heroes, but meet your heroes.
Come on.
And your heroes.
That's right.
Meet them in real life. Yeah, don't play with them behind the phone. Meet them in real life. It's a different type of energy.
Come on, I share.
I mean, to be in the presence of, you know, to be in the auric field of a collective that are vibrating at such a different, you know, frequency than people at the water cooler or the niggas on the block, you know, in so many ways. That in and of itself is an upgrade.
Man,
you know,
I feel it when you just said it, beloved. I felt the spirit. You know what I'm saying? I felt the spirit when you said it. You spoke that to Hootie just now. I actually felt the frequency when you just articulated that line. That's why I had to bring that back before. Because if they're tuning in right now, Red is dialing into your subconscious mind. He's dialing in and he's doing the idea. He's daring you to envision what we're resonating on right now. Brothers and sisters. So this is, I mean, and we're in the algorithm right now. We're fellowshipping. So you can use this to charge you. You can go online and join us in Puerto Rico, but you can be right now. If you don't have those means to travel right now, you can really tune in on what we're sharing with you all to encourage you and to pour into you. Continue, Red. I had to highlight that. I just felt that charge.
Oh, no. Definitely, King, for sure. You know, this is all, you know, this is all in
Red,
the
you were
mind.
talking about the importance of fellowshipping and coming together and why it's important to, you know, be in person with each other, you know, and getting that charge. Yeah.
Right. Being in person, you know what I mean? Not, you know, there's a middleman in between our, you know, us right now. And that's our technology, the phones and whatnot. And that's cool. You know, it's cool, but it doesn't fare the same as when you're on an island on a different parallel, on a whole nother ley line in the tropics in December, you know.
Hey, Ray, can you talk about the importance of, you know, right now you were speaking on our last live about the importance of being in nature and how the Most High is spirit of the Most High in physical is personified in the elements of nature in turn.
Oh, for sure.
So as we tap into, you know, our fellowship and we're in the body of in turn in nature, we actually can magnetize it and do the rejuvenation, do the healing. Can you speak to that frequency?
Yes. Dope. Yes. The metropolis or the big cities where our families who were from the South migrated to during the quote unquote Great Migration, they were pushed into the city out of fear. Remember, they were running from the South because of the KKK and the lynchings and the terrorism that was taking place while the immigrant class that just came in, right? These were the Polacks, these were the Irish, these were the Italians, these were the second waves of the European immigrants. They were forming what is known today as the Deep South. And they began to initiate terrorism on our people. When you see the coffee table book called Without Sanctuary, and the majority of the lynchings, those were Eastern Europeans and newly arrived Europeans at those pick-a-niggas and lynchings, okay? That was not homebred, homegrown rednecks. They were here for generations. Those were the new Europeans. So we were
That's
pushed into the
interesting. Well,
cities.
that's cut your wisdom, Red. That's interesting because it's been marketed that was not that. That it was the homebred, backwood, rednecks. So
Right,
that's a revelation that you're sharing right there. Continue, brother.
right, right. You just, I mean, when
I mean,
one
why do you think that they kept that up and not what you just said? Why do you think that's marketed as the four? Is you know why I asked that, Red? Because
yes,
the week that our beloved Fred Hampton, one of our revolutionary Black Panthers from Chicago, who was organizing amongst
all white,
the white folks that were on the campuses,
right,
at the Panther and the Folk Nation and People Nation and gangs. He was also building with the Appalachian whites in the mountains that were on the land, talking about
right.
get away from those
They call it the
could be considered, those would be considered the rednecks or whatever. So I was wondering, why would you think that they would keep marketing to us that tribe of Caucasians and not, like you said, the foreign Europeans coming over? Like why do we think that? Like, why is that part of our history that we always hearing that? Is there something to that?
well, the social construct of race was implemented, and these quote unquote nation states were absorbed into the white race. You know, the Italians and the Irish had to cut their teeth on our people in order to be welcomed into the white race. Now, keep in mind, who's telling the story? The same people telling the story is the same people that told you that the Italian mobsters were the ones that were committing all of the crimes and they were in control of all of the rackets, and it was
Right.
not them. There was another mafia, and that was the Jewish mafia. You know what I'm talking about? And they exonerated themselves through Hollywood, and they threw everything on the Italian. Now the rednecks, they get the brunt. They always get the short end of the stick because they're the rednecks. They don't politically. They're not as powerful as the small hats. They're not as powerful as the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. They're not as powerful as the Europeans that were on the East Coast, who were controlling the finances. They were controlling media and things of that nature.
I'm here,
So,
Red. Yeah, brother.
so it was the Germanic tribes, right? When you go and do the research, you could go and Google right now who populates these what's the nationality of the Europeans that populate places like Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. That's part of the Homestead Act, when they were letting all of these European immigrants come up in America, and they were moving our people through the Trail of Tears. They were displacing our people, and they were giving these people hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres.
Wow.
And then what took place on the West, when they were basically the Manifest Destiny, when they were running down and killing the Aboriginals and pushing the Aztecs into Mexico and whatnot. And when they took California and when they took Texas through Andrew Jackson and the Dixie Democrats and the what was that? The Jacksonian Democrats. These are Democrats. The movie, what was that movie? Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, wow, I remember that.
They was giving you some insight on how demonic some of these people were acting, you know? So it's a lot to do with Reconstruction, but now they just say white people. They don't say the Irish, they don't say Italian. They just give you this blanket thing called white folk. And we not educated to know who they talking about and who they not. They're not telling you that the Eastern European came over here and added to the ranks. Remember, their numbers were outnumbered by niggers, ex-slaves, and Aboriginal autonomous people who were here. They opened up the floodgates the same way that they opened up the floodgates and brought mad immigrants into our community who looked like us but didn't share our interests. And wanted to basically, they were fighting. What happened with the union and the laborers when the Jamaicans came? They accepted a lower cut of pay and they took their jobs. And you saw the same thing happen with the Mexicans, and then they got somebody coming to take the Mexicans' job.
Wow.
And then they have AI. They have the computers and the robots are coming to take everyone's jobs, and you don't have to pay the robots.
Well, Red, just to caveat what you just about the AI, your brother Blue Pill posted today about for those no Red's brother Blue Pill, check his page. He did this whole post about the your artificial intelligent footprint, you know,
Yes.
and how if people are not mindful, the hackers are gonna weaponize our artificial cachet against
Right.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? So basically, he was there. The article he shared was saying we need to really monitor and protect everything we're doing is being monitored. Every stroke, every search. So we need to be aware, to be mindful of how we're mining ourselves on the internet, because there are groups of people that are studying all of our different habits outside of the attacks of the government bodies that will eventually weaponize our artificial IDs against us, and also find a way to hack into our personal lives. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of highlight that because I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw it on
Facts.
Blue Pill's page, and that was real interesting that Blue Pill was sharing that.
Look, the documentary Social Dilemma, the
Yes.
digital twin, right? The DARPA, right? Which is, DARPA. You was in military. You know what DARPA has? What is called? I think it's called a sentient. It's basically they're running Second Life.
Yeah.
They set up a simulation where
Assimilate.
every single human being on the planet who they've been able to identify, they're running these people in a quote unquote, like the video game Sims.
Sims, right? Sims. Yep.
So think about Sims for PlayStation 10.
Wow.
That's what they're doing. So remember, we're in quantum now. They have the D-Wave computers. We're dealing with quantum computers. China is about to roll out the quantum internet very soon. People were talking about 5G. China just launched a satellite for 7G.
Whoa.
So
What?
they're able to run models and whatnot utilizing our digital twin. So I was sharing this before. The Federal Bureau of Investigation does what? They collect information and they do psychological profiles. They're not kicking down your door. When they come and get you, that's after they've collected all of these profiles. They built a profile on you.
Yeah.
So, right. So when you see what they do, think about somebody building a digital profile on you on a higher level than what the feds could build based off of the interaction with your smartphone, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pornhub, and a whole bunch of other things that work with the government, right?
Wow.
So based off of that, they're building out your digital twin, and they're able to run a program to where they'll say, if Red Pill gets into conflict with SupaNova, how can we manipulate that to turn into something more extreme?
Wow.
If a drill rapper,
I was going to say that that's what's happening to hip hop right now. It's been weaponized. Well, with our young brothers. Yeah.
Well,
right.
Yes, because you can have access to the quantum computers, and through the quantum computers, you could run what is known as models. That's what they were doing when they were doing the COVID. They were doing the COVID-19 models. That's when Dr. Fauci was coming with all of those numbers, because they were going to the quantum computers and they were running these models to say, all right, if we allow this to happen, if we allow that to happen, how many people are going to die? And then they were coming forward and they were like, well, 100,000 people are projected to die at this time. That's all quantum computer output. Right?
Wow.
So we doing a holistic entrepreneurship workshop, but we might need a whole week of digital detox.
Wow. Woo,
we might need a retreat where some of us have to go under plant medicine in order to digitally
the ayahuasca. Ayahuasca. So basically, Red, what you saying, for those that just tuned in, I call Red in the Marvel Avenger formation. I call him Professor X because he's projected. So I'm already getting the download. You're saying this elevation retreat hosted by our brother Oraje Neferum is just a snapshot of a deeper dive that we must ultimately commit the people to. So we eventually we're inviting you to a 2-day retreat But ultimately, we may have to plan a 7-day retreat that includes the plant medicines, the ayahuascas, the mushrooms, and so forward to do a deeper psychic cleanse. Is that what you're saying, Professor X?
I'm definitely saying that, King. What I'm saying is some of us are so deeply entrenched in the quote unquote matrix, the machine life. We are already android like. We one upgrade, or we're one upgrade away from a chip. Niggas talk about I ain't taking a chip. Family. You one iPhone upgrade away from that chip.
Woo!
We need to detox. We need to cut the cord. You remember, Kate? People like, I cut the cord. Well, you cut the cord, and then you got attached to a new cord, and that's your smartphone that's smarter than you. That's social media that you're not utilizing it as a social network. You're utilizing it as social media. So why the importance of being a holistic entrepreneur is so
Hey,
so
Red, real quick.
important.
I got Red, real quick. I got to shout out Comedic.Ken. He says X pill. Yes.
X pill.
Yeah,
like
for those
that.
that know, that's part of our Venture Salute. You know, he's our Professor X. So, you know, for those that know, I'm saying that. For those that know, because of his mind and how he's able to see what's necessary for the next step. I've always known about Red. Red will assess. He'll do the knowledge, but then once we start building, we already being the plan of the present. He'll start saying, you know what I see next, King? We need to do this. We need to do this next step. That's why I give him the acronym of Professor X. Yes, receive.
Right. That's being able to tap into the crown, into the Tahuti.
Yeah.
And being able to have a vision.
I say.
Right. So we need to get with some neurologists, some people who study the human brain. We need to be able to study the effects of social media on our brains, because we should only be on social media to be holistic entrepreneurs. You know, right? Think about it. They have a cache of data from me going all the way back to MySpace.
Wow. So
my digital, I've done 10,000 posts on Instagram. All of my personal life is on the computer. So they already have a doppelganger of me. They have a Gemini. What was the movie with Will Smith, Gemini Man?
Gemini Man. They have a digital DNA footprint of you.
Beyond a digital footprint, I'm telling you, they can clone me. I could be cloned at this point.
Wow.
It's beyond a digital footprint. That was the first few years of my activity. They could remember that they have deep fakes right now where they could put your face on another body. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm aware.
They can clone us at this point because of the big, you don't remember, big data is bigger than big oil at this point. We don't understand how deep big data goes and what they're planning and what they're doing with that. We need to study the CRISPR DNA. They cracked the genome. All they need is your DNA, and they're getting that with the COVID-19 swab.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And for the brothers in the hood, they have a data bank of your DNA because you got locked up already. So what if they were able to raise an army of knuckle draggers with no conscience, with no mind, and with no tie to the black race? But they got all of that criminal, they got all of that alpha, primal. You know, what if they're able to take Mike Tyson's DNA and clone him and make an army of universal soldiers of Mike Tyson?
Come on, well, they're already working on that. To that point, Red, Sister Candy Acid Rain says, have you seen the Deep Fake Impressions app?
Of course. That's the app that people is using where they're like the Incredible Hulk with SupaNova's face. When I saw it, I was like, what's that? But remember, they had the app where you could be a baby.
Yeah.
They had the app where you could be old. Now they have the app where you could replace I could put my face on Obama's body. Wow. And come out talking about, yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
I can live out my Barack dream, my nigga. Yeah. No, because everybody wanted to be Barack in 08. If they said it, they lying.
Oh yeah, brother.
They want to be Barack.
Oh, listen, brother. I was in Harlem. I was in Harlem, catching the Holy Spirit. All right, when that happened, that night, I gotta be.
Yo, I was at the
Yo,
state building. You
Red.
probably was.
I must do the conscious confessions. Your brother SupaNova was in Harlem. I brought out my flags. I brought my blue and red flag tied. I brought the homies with me, red, and we were catching the Obama Holy Yes Weekend spirit. We had the gang flags tied together. We caught the Yes Weekend spirit. We were hugging white people, hugging black, hugging bootlicking Negroes with butter biscuits. It was a party. It was a Yes Weekend party.
It was a gangster party.
I must confess, I was part of the Yes Weekend showdown and hold down.
The showdown and hold down. I know where you was at. You was right at the state building.
You know, exactly, bro. I was in front of the state building.
Negroes was crying like Van Jones.
Oh my! We made it, nigga. We made it.
Yeah, they out there clowning Van Jones. I'm like, you niggas was the first.
They forgot. They forgot, Red. They forgot.
Y'all forgot. Y'all was out there crying.
It's the Will Smith, been in Black Pen. They forgot that they clowning Van Jones.
It's the Mandela effect.
But most brothers and sisters, that was clowning Van Jones on our brother Tariq Nasheed's page. Y'all was with me in Harlem, doing the kumbaya. Yes, we can.
Right, and then the next morning, this is interesting. The next morning, it was gone. Like it never happened.
Like it never. That's deep.
The all of that energy dissipated. Right.
That was crazy.
It only showed itself in the inauguration. I went down to the inauguration, and it was lit. It was mad cold and whatnot, but we went for commerce purposes, right? Because at that point we knew what it was about. You know, we was like, we off it,
absolutely
trying to get to this money. So, you know, we have to be very mindful about pouring our energy and our lives into these quote unquote internet, into the digital world, into this quote unquote artificial reality, into what we call the tesseract. You know what I mean? This is the Black Mirror that I'm staring into right now. It has very esoteric connotations to it that we don't necessarily understand. We just think it's a cellular phone. Yeah. We don't understand the significance of being able to go live in real time. And I'm in Atlanta, but somebody is watching me in Australia, Africa. You in Jersey, but we're connected right now through this phone. I exist in like 3 places at once.
At once.
This was not a reality years ago. There's aspects to this that we have to go and do the research about.
Hey, Red, Camera B, remember that part in the end game when they were trying to get the Tesseract and they ran into themselves?
Thank you.
Made me think about that when you talk about the Tesseract and how they ran in. They had to plan not to see themselves. And remember, Captain America had to face himself.
Right.
That was just a Camera B, but it made me think about that when you mentioned that. Yeah.
Indeed. So,
Red, I'm not to cut your wisdom, beloved. Can you just to keep the people who are just joining us in tune with the build, can you just go back into the importance of elevation, why we're coming together, with the time we in, why it's important for the healers to align? Like you were saying earlier, I want to highlight the point you can build on, beloved. You were saying that a lot of people don't know that a lot of us, are linked with each other. A lot of us are really interlinked with each other, and our families are interlinked. And it may appear that we're just in silos, but we're really interconnected. And how now making a concerted effort to align and to work together to continue service is very important. Can you speak to what you were speaking about earlier about elevation and why that's important for us to come together? Yeah.
Very important. Our network is our net worth.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Our networks are our net worth. Ye are rich.
Come on.
So one of the things that we're going to be doing on December 12th and 13th, we're going to be forming an algorithm that never was formed before, because we're bringing together, because you brought up Avengers a minute ago, we're bringing together the modern day Avengers, the holistic practitioners, the brothers and sisters that have been on the front line, transforming lives, fighting against a dark force, and being very victorious with it. Remember, we are all engaged in what is called intellectual warfare. And some of us is in physical warfare at this point. It's trickled down. But, You're gonna have Red and Blue Pill,
Come on.
Billionaire PA,
Come on.
Chef Aki,
Come on.
Karma Soul,
Come on.
SupaNova Slom,
Come on.
Rain Global,
Come on.
Oraje Neferum, and
Come on.
other special guests.
Come on.
Right?
Woo!
And we're all gonna be on we're gonna be on the island of paradise, what is called the Enchanted Island. Mind you, Puerto Rico is called the Enchanted Island.
Why is that, Red? Why is it called that?
Well, the port of riches, Puerto Rico breaks down to the port of riches. So Puerto Rico is the enchanted island just based off of the magical properties of that island. Just based off of the fact that our Taino and Borican brothers and sisters have been doing magic on that island since the island was erected.
Wow, that's right.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And we're going to be tapping into that energy. We're going to be putting our feet in that ocean. We're going to be eating the fruits from that land. And we're going to be on that grid doing the work.
Woo,
You feel me? Doing the work that needs to be done. Because if we don't do the work, when is it going to be done? I sit back and I watch and I wait and I'm patient. And, you know, I'm waiting for the work to be done. And I realize, God damn it, nobody's going to do it, but you got to get out and do it.
You got to do, yeah.
So,
Ashe, yeah. Ashe.
So we're coming together, and we're coming together to service the people, because this is a workshop, and we're going to be dealing with up and coming businesses, holistic entrepreneurs. We're going to be revealing certain things about our businesses and our experiences and keys that we have obtained, and we're going to be sharing that with whoever is willing to come and receive it. You feel me? That's important. We're going into COVID-20. We're going into 2021. We're going into mandatory vaccinations. We're going into lockdown. So you're going to need to know how to be a holistic practitioner and a holistic entrepreneur while you get money either on your phone or on the internet or sneaking around and doing it while you're on lockdown.
Because we're on lockdown.
It's PR off the curfew. The sister keep asking about a curfew. There's no curfew. There's no curfew. You're good. There's no COVID testing. There's no curfew. There's none of that. Our host, the brother Oraje Neferum, he's been going live from Puerto Rico every other weekend. He's on the land all the time.
Right. He's on that land. Yeah, he's on that land. That's right.
Somebody said, are we doing a retreat in Cali?
I just saw that.
Yeah, that's coming up down the line. Right now, what we really want to do, you know, Cali is beautiful, Shasta Mountain and everything, but we want to take it off the grid. We want to go into the tropics. You know, we want to go close to the equator, you know, especially because of the alignment that's going to take place on December 21st, the Great Conjunction. We want to be as close to the equator as possible. I don't want to be in the metropolis. I don't want to be in the big cities. I don't want to be in the projects. I don't want to be on plant medicine surrounded by lead, concrete, and wires and whatnot. You're not going to have the proper downloads that you would have if you're in a rainforest. Now, when you're in the rainforest, keep in mind that you're a visitor, okay? It's not your home. You're going to be visiting nature, and nature is almost it's unlimited. It's unlimited insects. It's unlimited wildlife. It's unlimited flora and fauna. And based off of the plant medicine, it's almost like Wi-Fi. Imagine your phone connecting to Wi-Fi, and then you get all of your text messages, and you're able to scroll, and you're able to go online, and you could download faster. Well, that's the same thing that takes place in nature when you tap into plant medicine. You get hooked on the Wi-Fi of nature.
Come on.
You're gonna get downloads from the trees. You're gonna get downloads from the birds. You're gonna get downloads from the wildlife. You have to be prepared to receive that, though.
Yeah, absolutely. The key word: you have to be prepared to receive. And and that preparation, Red, that's holistic, right? It goes. Are you prepared? Are you preparing for your life partner? Like a lot of brothers, you said, hit you about wanting a mate. You have to prepare our brothers to receive a compliment. You just don't want any mate. You want a sacred compliment, just like the sisters. You want a sacred compliment, you know. So shout out to all the sisters doing their healing work and the medicine work. We want to encourage our brothers. Red talked about our last live how he takes time to nourish himself and pour into himself. We want to encourage our brothers to continue to do that. to be in complement with the sisters doing their sacred work. You want to speak to that,
Right.
Red? Yeah.
I did 2.5 years of shadow work in the Bronx. I had a roommate, right? And my roommate was like, yo, I thought when we moved in, we was gonna kick it more. You know what I mean? I was like, fam, I'm working on myself. I be in my room. People think I'm out here running around, you know, all over the place. No, I hit the hood, I hit the trenches, I do the work, but my solstice was my home. I became a homebody. I'm known for people who know me from back in the days. I would never miss a party. I was on everybody's couch, standing on everybody's couch. You know what I'm talking about? I was in all of the clubs. I was a promoter.
So that was your life. Yeah. So you're part of your life promote. You got to be in the mix. Yeah, absolutely.
I had to be in the mix.
Yeah.
But when I started working on myself, I was in a relationship with a very fine young lady, you know, and things didn't work out. This was like 2017. So I was doing mad work on myself. And by doing the work on myself, I was able to meet, you know, my wife.
Come on, look at that. Woo!
You know, I was able to...
Wait, beloved. By doing the work on yourself, you were able to meet with your sacred complement. That's profound.
I was able to magnetize her. Remember, magnetism, right? Are you magnetic? Can you pull, right? When you walk in the room, are you pulling certain energies towards you? Are you pulling knuckle draggers towards you? Are you pulling zeta males towards you? Are you pulling pimps and pushers and low lights towards you? You got to check your magnetism. What's your magnet like? You should be able to repel that energy. So I was peeping what I was pulling towards me, and I had to work on my magnetism and figure that out. I had to change my magnetic field and whatnot. And by changing my magnetic field, I was able to magnetize a queen that was beneficial. She helped put me back together and lifted me up. And now we have a child. I have a newborn. You know what I mean? And
you was a saw. Your pieces were put back together, and your your eyes helped to align that, man. Bless your eyes. Look at that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And even at the first elevation, right, King? I spoke about seasons and reasons. I said people come into your life for seasons and reasons. We have to accept that. You might be with a woman who you think she's God's gift to the green earth, but you don't own her. That's not your earth. You know what I mean? She's going to walk in your life and shine her light and do something for you, but she might have to keep it moving because she might have some spirit and some shadow work that she has to do, and y'all not going to be able to do it together. So you're going to be with her for a season, but there's a reason why you were with her. Find out what that reason is. When I met a sister in 2011, who changed my life in Atlanta. Her name is Amina. I put it, you know, people know. And I was at a place where I was in a dark place. I was broken. I was in pieces. When we got together, and we didn't get together on, you know, it took a while for us to come together. We got together as friends first. And then we went and got a reading by elders that we respected. And the elders told us, y'all gonna be together for 6 months.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They was like, y'all supposed to be together during this season, but in 6 months, she has work that she needs to do. You got work that you need to do. Right? And when the 6 months came, I wasn't accepting of it. I wasn't ready to let her go. And we had to go back to the elders and get another reading. And they were able to say, Red, it's that time. And we cut the cord. And she remained. I went and got her feet done that night, right? Because I was going to New York. I was supposed to leave that night. I said, let me go and get your feet done. I'm not going to do it. We're going to let the Koreans do it while I talk to you, right? And I told her, I thanked her, you know what I mean? And I gave her the reassurance that, you know, you will always have a place in my heart. And I'll always be there for you, based off of our 6 months of experience, because it was an upliftment, right? And to this day, when I did an event I did an event on 9/11, and I flew the sister from Oakland to come and perform in Atlanta, so she could shine her light while I'm shining my light, along with Camp Bada and other artists, because that's how important. I told her, and I promised. I said, I'm gonna make sure whatever that you want to do in your life, whatever you because she's doing music now. I said, I'm gonna if I stand on the stage and I have ability to bring you on, I'm bringing you on.
Ah, shit. Look at that.
You there for life.
Sacred
The mothers
union.
of my children, they there with me for life. There is no our wedding ring is our child.
Wow, look at that. Sacred union.
You know?
Salute to that. Well, you know, you brother, I hope the brothers who are tuning in hear this ministry, this heart ministry, this love ministry, this ministry, because you said something key. You took some time to work on healing yourself out of whatever low frequency, so you can be at a place to receive the sacred love and the sacred compliment. You know, for those that are tuning in, me and my wife Layla, you know, we were married and we were together in 2010. Got married in 11. We were in the she was my sacred combat wife in the military with me. It was very hard navigating that. We divorced in 2016, and then we parted. We had to go through our growth and development. I was in 2 other separate relationships. She was working on herself. I had, in between my relationships that didn't work out, I had to do a deeper dive, a deeper letting go, a forgiveness. I had to work on forgiveness and overcoming bitterness, and you know, and really just accepting to really want to vibrate higher for my own self. In that, Red, I was able to attract her again.
Right.
You know, and we weren't speaking for years, Red. She was in her own universe. I was, but because I was working on myself and she was working on herself, the magnetism of our work completed the cipher for us to actually fellowship and court each other again. So I want to just put a wellness warrior salute to your testimony, because I affirm your testimonial, because that's where I'm in it. I'm in with you, and your beloved wife are in. I'm so grateful to hear your testimony, beloved, because a lot of our alphas don't share that. And I'm enjoyed that me and my wife Layla are reunited in healing, and we're both, you know what I'm saying, Red? We're not even on this old timeline. We're on a new timeline together, working on not being triggered by the ego of our past timeline. So we're in second courtship, Red. We're humble to each other. Yeah.
It made my heart smile when I saw you back with your queen.
Oh, I share, beloved. Wow, I share.
I'm just saying that there's only one energy on this planet, and it is love supreme. It's not love.
Woo.
It's love supreme, like Coltrane told us.
Come on.
Right? Man created hate and fear and all of the things on that spectrum. That's a man-made type of thing. The only power, the only frequency that's dominant, that's responsible for creation, you don't create in hate. Nothing is created in hate. It might be friction and there's big bangs and all of that, and it's painful with birth, but it's not hate.
Woo.
When my son was born, he was my little man came in during the COVID lockdown. He came in. He's an Aries. His name is Omari L. He came on 4-2, right? Yeah, he came on 4-2. And to be honest with you, we was playing the Love Supreme during labor.
Come on,
right? And when I saw my son, I cried like a child. You understand? Because I saw love manifest in the flesh.
Wow.
Love supreme.
Love supreme.
We fix our magnetic field. We will attract to us what is for us.
Wow.
If we need to heal, then we need to shut it down, and we need to heal, y'all. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I was fighting my desires when I was unplugged, and I was dealing with me, and I was locked in my room, you know, going off Black Magic on Brother Rich's channel, being able to have Melanin Monday, being able to use the live button. That was my therapy.
That was the healing.
If I could not talk, if I could not release, if I could not share, if I could not build, I would have destroyed myself. Remember, I'm a Scorpio. We die on our own swords.
Whoa.
Okay?
That's heavy.
We die on I'm a Scorpio. We die on our own swords. We sabotage ourselves. The Scorpio could sting itself and kill itself.
Wow, that's deep.
So
Yeah.
I have a primal energy. I'm the red pill, you know, red and you know, my brother's the blue pill.
That's right.
But I'm true to my name. So I have to always be mindful that I could burn shit up. You know, if I, you know, I'm like Scott Summers, you know, I could destroy myself.
Right. Right.
So for the brothers and sisters on the front line that is absorbing, I'm talking about, I got knives, swords, machetes, daggers. I got all kind of shit in my back. You know, I've absorbed shots, bazooka, bombs, grenades, headshots, niggas done sneak punches.
Yeah.
You know, I've absorbed all,
Just notice that you didn't say you had greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
You know,
I just had to throw that in there.
you know, I've been able to take a lot in.
Yeah, I should.
Right?
I should. Yeah.
But I'm able to transmute that. I'm an artist, so I put it in the music. I put it in the fashion. When I design my clothes, I utilize all of that red energy and I just transmute it into
yes,
into projects, into products and shit like that, because
Come on.
I'm not trying to, you know, fall on my sword. And I know what I signed up for. I know that I didn't sign up to basic, and when I signed up for this, I knew that I was able, like if anyone signs up to the armed forces, you know your capabilities.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna sign up to go to war and you don't think that you could do the war.
Yeah. That's
So
a
when I
fact.
signed up for this, I knew what I was up against.
That's right.
So as a result of that, I still needed the healing.
Come on.
So men, you have to pamper yourselves. Get into the Reiki. Get into the massages. You know, you don't need the happy ending massage. You know, get into the massages. Go to the steams and whatnot. Go to the saunas.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
Wear your crystals. Tap into your crystals. You know, get into your breathing. Surround yourself with energy. If you know, if you're a person is very lustful and you can't control your lower self, you might have to put yourself around divine feminine energy and deal with it.
Let me add to this, beloved. Yes, shout out to the man, heal thyself, brothers that are working to heal themselves. Speaking of that, one of the protocols that we teach our brothers, because you know I'm taking brothers to a rites of passage now, and we talk about forgiveness. And one of the biggest things that I find a lot about alpha strong brothers have is the holding on and the resentment to a lot of the female energies, right? And so during the process of the rites of passage, we help brothers unlock and forgive themselves, not necessarily for the woman first, but for themselves. And in the process of forgiving themselves, they begin to heal and let go whatever afflictions with the woman, you know, and forgiveness, and brothers working on forgiving himself and healing himself, he's a better alpha signal.
Oh,
and,
man.
And as a healing, and you can pour into healing yourself, brothers, automatically any woman that you've ever disrespected or poisoned or hurt, you working on healing and restoring your integrity helps to restore energetically the sisters that you have maybe put a traumatic experience to. So it's very important for us to be, Red, I just wanted to say this, to be, stop being blamers. Don't be a beta blamer. Be the owner.
Right.
We want to be owners, alpha owners. We want to take ownership and not be blamers. We receive fully. We receive the resistance. You talked about earlier, Red. You talked about the resistance and working out mind, body, spirit. We receive fully, and we want to be owners so we can own the integrity of our body, mind, and spirit to pour into ourselves as men first, so that we can continue to serve others, our work, and our families at a high level. But if we don't, like Red was talking about the tenets of healing, if we're not willing to pour into ourselves and heal ourselves, we will not be able to be sustainable to the women and our children and our work. And when Red gave his testimonial, he was sharing that he had to shut everything down, shut in, work on restoring himself. And now what happens? His podcast, his art, his clothing, his ability to even come to elevation and serve you all, that is a result of working on man healing himself. So if Brother Ray can do it, if I'm doing it, we want to encourage you brothers to continue to join us on this healing so we can affirm with our sisters who are also doing their healing. Continue, Ray.
And I was saying that because we are attached to these women through etherical cords.
Come on.
They're still attached to us. So once you lighten up your heart and you forgive yourself, you know what I'm saying? And by doing that, you can forgive them for whatever you're blaming. You're not a victim in this, fellas.
Come on.
There is no victims in this. We should divorce victimhood mentality.
Woo! Let's say that one more time, Red.
We should divorce victimhood mentality and begin to be men and stand up for what the hell. Stand on your square.
Come on.
Face it.
Come on.
Because you can't, that's why I was saying earlier that sometimes if there's something that's challenging you, you might have to run to that shit. You cannot run from it. You can't run from your shadow. The nigga's always on your tail.
Come on.
You're going to have to eventually turn around one day and walk into your shadow.
Woo! Let's go.
We're talking about divine shadow work.
Yeah.
We're talking about lightening up the heart through service and community service and doing the work. Every single video that I do, and I know that I'm helping someone, that's me lightening up my heart a little bit. I did too many years in the streets, in the trenches. I've been to jail too many times. I've broken my parents' hearts by getting locked up, trying to be cool and shit.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of work that I need to do. And I got a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And I pray to the ancestors. He's still able to be 13 though.
Yes. Yes.
That's the great thing. My daughter's 7 and she's able to be a real 7-year-old.
Come on, Ashe.
She's not 7 living the life of an 18-year-old. She's an innocent 7. So I must be doing something right, because if your children could live like a goddamn child, then something is going good. Stop being so pessimistic about this reality. This reality is not that bad because your child is a real fucking child. They're sitting around playing Roblox, Fortnite, eating hot Cheetos and shit. They're not going through the things that we went through. When I was 13, we was on the front line doing criminal activities and we were hurting adults.
You better know, man. Them late 80s, early 90s, that was hard.
Come on.
That was serious. Yeah. Yeah.
We was into some dark, we were in a very dark place. And we were surrounded by darkness. We were enveloped by darkness and criminality and all kind of things. Our parents cannot hold us. Dr. Sabi, salute to Dr. Sabi. Tomorrow's his birthday. We're going to be doing something special in Atlanta for him. Yes, I'm going to put the flyer up.
Okay, real quick, can you talk about the event that you, Mama Pill, and the family are going to be doing tomorrow? Just real quick before we end. Yeah.
At Mama Pill's house right here in Atlanta, and right off of Moreland Ave, and right off of 20. We're going to be having like an open house. We're going to be having food. We encourage y'all to bring y'all food through. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but we're giving thanks to Alfredo Bowman, a.k.a. Dr. Sabi, and not just Dr. Sabi, all of the black families, all of the black radio stations, the black newspapers, all of the black media who helped put them on in the 80s and in the 90s, before the YouTube, before the social media. And we're going to be playing, we have, we got video, we got audio of, lectures that nobody ever heard. We have a product launch. We're going to be celebrating him all weekend.
What time does the event start tomorrow, Red, for those who want to come?
1 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Awesome.
1266 Linwin Lane. The flyer will be on my page with all of the information. For anybody that's interested, they know where to find it, either on Blue Pillar, KT the Arch Degree, or Red Pill's page.
And Red, when it's done, inbox me the flyer and I'll share it in my stories for the family.
I got you,
okay.
King.
Yeah.
So even for the parents whose children are not living, and who may be teenagers and they're living out an adult reality, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to let you know, as a survivor of that, it's not the end all be all. It's called a rites of passage. Many of these children don't got no rites of passage, so they gang right now. The women, the little girls is in gangs. The boys is in gangs. Yeah. Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're drilling in the streets. These are teenagers. In Chicago, at 7 years old, they become GD and BD. So I'm not saying that it's taking place everywhere.
Brooklyn, we got the woes and chos now.
We got the woos and the woes and the chos. Yeah. Look, I held one of the chos in my hand when he was born. I held him in my hand.
Wow. Wow.
And I can't, because of the war, I can't even speak on it too much, because I gotta watch out that the damn wolves don't come after me.
Wow. Yeah, these are our babies too, man. It's really
But
sad.
there's somebody that's close to me who's a father to one of these gang members and whatnot, and I pray for him every night because
Yeah.
he is 17 years old and he's living his life like how we was living it, flirting with death every night.
Wow.
So there's a war going on outside. No man is safe, but there's also a war going on inside. And we all have to the village got to come together. That's if I were to leave you with anything,
Yes.
the village. This flyer that you see called Elevation, that's called the village, y'all. That's the village coming together. Most of us on this thing are all parents. So we're doing this not just for us, we're doing this for these babies. These babies are watching us. My daughter's watching every single move that I make. Okay? I got her with me in Atlanta. She's watching she's listening to every single, when I'm on Instagram scrolling, she's reading the captions. I had to unfollow 100,000 people.
Wow. Wow. That's heavy,
So
bro. Yeah.
Let's be our higher selves.
Absolutely.
Let's be our best selves. Let's challenge ourselves to be our higher self going into 21. Let us lighten up our heart to be as light as a feather. Let us forgive each other. When I go to Puerto Rico, I have to go through an intense forgiving ceremony because I wanted to kill somebody this year because a nigga crossed the line.
Wow.
You understand? And that's on my heart. I got to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people have to deal with forgiveness, and a lot of people have to deal with lightening up their heart because it's like with Gucci Mane and Jeezy. Gucci Mane went to sleep with Jeezy on his mind for 15 years. I don't know if Jeezy was worried about Gucci Mane, but Gucci Mane had that man on his heart. Yes. And he needed to see him and get in his face and squeeze the toolie off in his face. Yeah. Because he was like, I gotta perform that song in that man's face because I went to sleep. I was in jail with an ice cream tattoo on my face, hating Young Jeezy. But what he tried for his transgression against me.
And what was so sacred about that was through that chaos, Jeezy held Alpha Warrior space for the brother to say his truth and still say, brother, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing this so we can heal past this.
It was a healing on the highest level of trap niggas.
Of trapness, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the midst of a gang war, in the midst of a rap war, in the midst of young drillers out there, basically, real talk, because I mean, let's be clear. These young dudes are out here really murdering shit and putting hits on each other. Yeah. For real.
Well, listen, Red, you know, to the the caveat to that is I'm very disappointed at our generation and the one right before us who have put their hands up. Not all of them, because yourself, myself, and some brothers, warriors are on the front line still embracing our babies. But when I travel the country and I, you know, respectfully speak to different OGs from various warrior nations, and they say, well, that's them. I'm saying, beloved, you set up the climate for that's them.
Yo.
You set up the game climate.
Look.
And for you now, you were so irreparable all these years, and now for you to tuck your tail and go from alpha to beta and say that's them, that's irresponsible, that's disrespectful to your flag, to your nation, to everything you said you was about. Because if you are able to get to the chaos and the conflict, you are supposed to go from banging to building. And it's called each one teach one, each one reach one. If you are represent a B nation, C nation, a folk or a people nation, and you are not standing in the midst of this, embracing these young babies and helping to spare some of them, then you are a buster. And I've been saying it for years, Red, and I don't like, my spirit cannot, respectfully, I'm not going to take the fire off of these brothers, because we cannot let our babies, in the midst of this, part my political correctness, in the midst of white supremacy was happening with these militia, we now just saying this is the drillers and the drillers. We are surrounded. We are being surrounded socially, politically, economically. And for you to say it's on the babies to figure it out, and you created the climate for 30 years through hip hop music, through drill culture, through game banging, You in slanging, and you made it hip and hop and fresh to be low frequency, and you gonna just say it's on the babies, and you're not trying to help to each one teach one, each one reach one. Red, I cannot let that slide, beloved, respectfully. That's not in my eye, and we got to keep the pressure on our tribe too, on our generation.
Deadbeat big homies.
Woo! Talk about it, Red. Talk about it.
Deadbeat big homies, right? Go and look at Digital Soapbox Network. That's MC8, Country James. It's a YouTube podcast. They had a gangster from Dallas on there talking about the killing in Mo 3 and Boozy, right?
I saw that.
So what did he tell them? He said the South got gang culture from the West. When we saw Colors, when we saw Menace, we went and took everything that we learned in those movies, and that became my identity. It's on you niggas.
And
y'all programmed us.
Another thing he said, Red, if y'all have a problem with us claiming these nations, you need to send some reparables up here to square us away. Because if you don't, they're going to bang anyway.
Right.
Just like when I told the big homies in the West, why New Yorkers claiming it? Listen, you 20 years late. You just finding this out? This is since the 90s. If you're not going to come and each one teach one, each one reach one, post OG Mac, then they're not going to fly to Chicago. They're not flying to LA. So you just on the internet complaining about what New York or the South is doing. Like the brother from the South in Dallas said, unless you're sending reparables to help mentor us as warriors and alphas, then the psychosis of the death and destruction will continue. Yes, Red. Big homies. That needs to that's buster activity, and we need to check that at the gate.
That's fear. That's fear. That's not warriorhood. If you a real warrior, you will go into different hoods that have been influenced by you. Let's say that 20 years from now, they out there killing each other from debates and lectures and what, and there's a whole group of people that's hummer-stunting and stealing each other's followers. I would feel obligated to say, yo, the people who was there in the beginning, who they're modeling themselves after, you got an obligation to fix that shit because it's obviously broken. So the homie in Dallas, he is in gang prevention. He's out there on the front line doing the work. He took it all the way up to the highest levels of policy and was helping to change policy. And he told all of them 3 old gangbangers, look, y'all niggas need to come down here and fix this. Y'all started this. It's a seed that you planted. And they was like, they wasn't sure. They wasn't cocksure to be like, we'll be there tomorrow. So y'all don't care about Boozy. Y'all don't care about NLE Chopper. Y'all don't care about none of y'all don't care about NBA Youngboy. Y'all don't care about the wars going on. Y'all really don't. I just want to sit back with your fake ass take score and whatnot, and then with your commentary, but your commentary is empty. It's not dealing with real solutions. They be up there acting like they dumb, playing devil's advocate and be playing they doing mumble rap podcasts.
Woo!
Keep it real.
Wow.
Keep it real.
Come on.
And be about solutions and stop playing with the people, because our people are so dumbed down, these woke niggas and the woke movement. It's like they're feeding y'all these morsels. They're giving you niggas the Obama treatment. They're giving you hope. They're telling you, yes, we can. Yeah. They feeding you niggas hopiates. And they're not giving you the raw. They're not giving you this uncut horse. They're not giving you this uncut shit. They're giving you stepped on information, stepped on solutions. They're taking you in circles, and they're gonna drag this shit for another 30 years while they proliferate and pimp the communities.
Red, let me say this, beloved.
With 100 marches.
To add to your bill, Red. Who, for the family out there, who you deem your enemy is training every day, inspired to take you and those who look like you out. That you are all they think about. Their life is based on you. They're training, they're arming themselves, they're doing the knowledge, they're researching, they're getting themselves squared away social, economically, and politically, while we set tripping, while we still caught up in Willie Lynch, light skin, dark skin, older, younger, while we playing around right?
Yo,
And doing the cult of personality, who you deem your enemy outside your little bubble is are preparing their children, their daughters, and their women to be in opposition of you. So if we
right.
do not
Look,
square ourselves away metaphysically, spiritually,
spiritually.
mentally, economically, sociopolitically, and begin to take that hammer and break away the Willie Lynch chip, we would not be the originals. Will be substituted by the synthetic. Be very clear.
Let me share some
Yes,
with you,
Red.
Supernova.
Yes.
We lost King Von, right?
Who look just like Nathan. You see that face, the phenotype?
Right,
That's
right.
that's
Look
a
at his
Nathan
phenotype. He has very similar phenotype. Look, imagine what kind of asset King Von would have been against the Proud Boys or the alt-righters or the people who are calling themselves our enemy. But look, the same time that we lost King Von, they got Kyle Rittenhouse back. The young 17-year-old who killed the 3 people in Kenosha. He got bailed out by Ricky
Silver
Schroeder.
Spoons. By Silver Spoons.
He got bailed out by Silver Spoons, by Ricky Schroeder. So when we lost King Von, they gained Kyle Rittenhouse
Ain't
back.
that deep?
Imagine the asset that a King Von would have been towards.
And how much was the bag for him for Silver Spoons put up? 2.5.
2 million.
2 million.
2 million. Right? 2 million. They put up 2 million and got Kyle Rittenhouse out of the goddamn pokey and whatnot. And they trying to get Dylan Roof out. I think the way that Donald Trump is moving, he's gonna pardon one of these killers and whatnot before he gets out of term. You can't, look out for it. But what I'm here to say is the young kings that we're losing every day in the street, think about infantry. Think about any type of armed forces. Think about if you lost your greatest warriors to friendly fire before they even got on the field.
Wow, that's horrible, brother. I love how you said that. Yeah.
They died in the green zone.
It's deep. Yeah. You said it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what you articulated. Before deployment, you killing your own battle buddies. You said it. You said
Friendly
it.
fire.
Yeah.
Because of fear. They don't want to face they out there marching and coming up with slogans and whatnot and spray painting dead people's names on the ground and walking over them. They avoiding the conflict. But what does fear do? Fear makes you kill your own brother. Fear makes you look at a person who look like you. What you looking at? You would never ask a nigga what you looking at if when you looked in the mirror, you loved what you saw. You would never, that's if what you looking at, that deals with you can't look at yourself in the mirror. You see too many blemishes. So when you see a nigga that look like you, he reminds you of you. So you hate what you see because it reminds you of something that you hate.
Wow.
So for my sisters out there, sleeping with the trap rappers, y'all sleeping with the killers, y'all running around with the plug, get them niggas some love. Put some fucking sandalwood and smudge these niggas because they need help. They need healing. They need some fucking hugs. That's what they need. They don't need to, y'all out there, raise them up.
Absolutely.
Raise them up because the men are not, we're not in the household with these niggas. We're not laying down with these men. They out here being savages because they're trying to impress you. They out there being savages because you being savage. They out there being savages because the bar that a lot of these sisters raised was they want a killer, they want a dealer, they want a hustler, they want a trap boy. They like, I fell in love with Young Jeezy because he was down with BMF. That's what they saying that they want, and these niggas will rise up to that. We need some more Badu energy out there, some Baduism. We need some sisters to say, I'm looking for a god. I'm looking for a king. I'm looking for an alpha male.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100, beloved. Part of that other side to all we was just saying is we're gonna have to get a vanguard for the purge. There's a serious cancer amongst our people, and we got to get a vanguard that's willing to clean up and do the drop squad on some of our own contingency in order to move forward.
Fact.
Because we got to trim at that. The bottom line, and that's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? There's a demographic amongst us that are totally not trying to vibrate higher at all. Don't want to do the healing work. That they are stuck in that module, and we have to set a cutoff point where they're going to be squeezed out between us saying enough is enough and the militia that are gunning for them anyway. and we have to be, and we got to, and we got to be, we got to get up on our, you know, that FOI militancy, that type of discipline, that Morris discipline, that comedic spiritual discipline. We have to have all hands on deck, man. So our Shalom power, our Hotep power, our Ashe power, our Namaste power, all the 7 African powers, your native power, all that set trip got to go. We're talking about the inter-tribal powwow needs to be converged. Okay? First of all, y'all don't need to be out in these marches with no situational awareness. Let me tell you a technology that y'all probably didn't know that's out there. Every march has an overdrop squad. An overdrop squad has rifles with a scope that can ID you.
Right.
Did y'all know that? This scope, y'all don't even see it. It's similar to a scope we had when I was in Afghanistan. They'll see you in white light. This scope, it's an added upgrade for now, specifically for those that are dealing with marches, the law enforcement. This scope sees the white light. It scans. It can pull up your phenotype and go through. You ever see those CIA movies? And they go through the computer, the FBI.
Facial recognition.
Right. So they actually, if they can't find you in the scope, in the system, then they mark you and then they log you, your phenotype. And so there are Overwatch squads just shooting images. They're not even trying to shoot you. They just capture your image to see if you're in the system, they can track you. And if you're not in the system, they're tracking you. Okay, so that's one. You're out here not even aware of the Overwatch situation awareness because you're so focused on the law enforcement before in front of you. You're not looking to at you're not trained because you're not doing the knowledge, looking at 12 o'clock to your upper left or 9 o'clock to your back right. You're focused on what's in front of you, not looking over to your Overwatch in your upper left, your upper right, and what's happening. And that's where the funnel is. It's not the folks in front of you. You're in a funnel. When you march, you're in a funnel. And I told y'all should not be having babies out here in these marches at this point. And if you are African American, Black, whatever you want to call yourself, melanated, you live in this 50 states, if you are in a concealed carry state, sisters first, you need to be strapped. You need to be strapped. You need to be going to some gun training ranges, like your so-called enemy trains. You need to be training. More than marching, you need to be training. If your Black Life Matters, get to the gun range. Train your children. Sisters, stop being scared of firearms. Listen, you live in a war machine called the corporate America. Corporate America is a war machine. You must know the logistics of the machine that you live in. You must study the logistics of the machine that you live in. This is a war machine. So even if you're not trying to hurt nobody, you must be versed and masterful in war. We need warrior men and women, body, mind, and spirit versed in war tactics and logistics, just to do the knowledge. Even if you're not going to be out here being an aggressor, but you're just doing the knowledge to the way you live in. So when you want to go march, you're understanding the Overwatch. You're understanding how to maybe how to take cover, how to wear certain clothes so you're not picked up on the infrared from the machines. That's another type of bill, camera B bill. But you keep saying, see, there's so much.
Talk about the drones.
The drones. Instead of doing the consulting, we have moved on emotion, and they calibrate our emotional output, and then they cap us in this funnel machine. We have to start moving very much logistical, and we start to fellowship each other because they kill people just to get us in the funnel. Did you know that? They kill brothers and sisters because they know you're gonna come down to the square, you're gonna come outside, and this is so they can actually scan you and run you through the simulation and make sure that you're logged. And if that's not fast enough, that's why they're doing the vaccination situation. So when we say, hey, Dr. Sabi says, get up on your CMOS. We say, hey, get up on your mega greens. Get up on your plant medicines beforehand so you're not in subjugation to the state. Instead of waiting to the last minute when they force it upon you because you're going in for a sneeze or a cough. Brothers and sisters, this is why we are forming an elevation. I want to spirit hit me, want to give thanks and praise. This is why we're forming the boot camp for holistic entrepreneurs. you know, in the next week, December 12th to the 13th, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Billionaire PA, Chef Iki, Sister Karma, Soul, okay, Rain, hosted by our brother, Oraje, Neferum. We are assimilating together to do the knowledge of healing and give our brothers and sisters the tools to navigate the chaos. Any words you want to say to what I just shared, beloved Red Pill?
Ashe.
Ashe.
That's nothing else needs to be.
Ashe. Yes, Red. Red, can you please make sure that you send me the flyer of Dr. Sebi's salute tomorrow in Atlanta and our family? I'm gonna save this live. For those that want to replay this live, please share it with your family. Comment, like, and share on Red page. On my page, I will have this live saved to my page on my IGTV. I want to thank my beloved Red Pill for coming. Our Professor X, you say I want to thank him for coming and sharing his knowledge and sharing his family, and thank his family for his wife for sharing her time through her husband sharing with us. Family, have a blessed wellness evening. We bid you a wellness warrior salute. Please click the information pin here for the Eventbrite. Red, any final blessings you want to give to the family?
I just want to say, I want to give thanks, you know, on the eve of what they call Thanksgiving. You know, I want to say that the ancestors are working. You know, these holy days are being disseminated. They're losing their power. I want to give gratitude to the ancestors, the pantheon. I call them the ring of power. There's a pantheon that exists in the quantum realm, which is right on the other side of newly initiated elders who are ascended. They didn't die, they ascended. Dr. Blair, Dr. Sebi, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, you know what I mean? Baba Kalindi, you know, Minister Hafiz Muhammad, you know, there's so many, there's unnamed and named, but I know that they're doing the work. I know that they're moving things around. I know that I could look towards the subtleties of what I see. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's happening.
Ashe.
There's a paradigm shift taking place,
Ashe.
and they are lifting up the veils, and they are letting us see things for what they are. They are just Elijah told us that America, or the mind state, what is known as the egregor of America, not the land and not this beautiful land of the Americas, but the mind state is destroying, is falling before our very eyes. You don't have no pony in the race. Remove yourself and stand in the middle with us. You know what I mean? You don't have no pony in this race. Let them two deal with it. You know what I'm talking about? You don't have no pony. We need to focus on us. We are the more we rise up, the more nervous they get. That's why they fall into pieces, and that's why they acting all crazy. Because we getting our thing together. That's why Becky's are turning into Karens, because we getting our thing together. The sisters, y'all shining, y'all glowed up. They can't stand it. They can't stand it. We don't need them anymore. And they're acting like children. And we need not to engage them. We need to focus on us and just get to the healing.
Yes, get to the healing. That's it. Wellness warrior salute, beloved. I appreciate you, Red. I love you and the family. Please give my love to
love you too, King.
Blue and Mother Pillar and KT and everybody. I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you on the land of enchantment. Wellness warrior salute, beloved. Okay. Peace, family.
All right, y'all.